Yo, what is going on, everyone? My name is Nick, or the Notorious Fantasy, and in today's video, we're going to be breaking down my 2024/2025 NFL playoff predictions. We're going to be breaking down every single matchup from the wildcard round all the way up until the Super Bowl and discuss who I believe is going to be facing off in February in New Orleans for the Lombardi Trophy, and ultimately who I believe is going to be the 2024/2025 NFL Super Bowl champion. But before we could get into things, I would like to ask that if you guys are new to the channel and you do end up enjoying fantasy football content, then please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below like it owes you some money. Leave a like on today's video whether you are new to the channel or not. It would help me out a ton. And let me know down below in the comment section who you believe is going to be hoisting the Lombardi in February, who you believe is going to win the Super Bowl this year. Now, we are going to start off in the wildcard round with the first matchup of the week, which is going to be the typical Texans spot, right? The Texans every year just seem to play on Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Texans were 3-point underdogs. As I'm recording this, it moved to 2.5 points. So the Texans are 2.5-point underdogs at home. Now, this is a very interesting matchup because it seems like these are two teams with completely polar opposite assessments from most people, right? Most NFL fans, I would say, not even casual NFL fans, I would say most NFL fans believe that the Chargers are on the up and up, that the LA Chargers are a team that has done a complete and utter 180, right? They have this stooge head coach. It doesn't work. The team's a disaster. They get their back blown out by the Las Vegas Raiders by what felt like 1,000,000 points at the end of last season, right? And they're just a team that's dead in the water. They hire Harbaugh. They turn things around. Justin Herbert, the pervert's playing some incredible football. And the Chargers are 11-6. The Texans are 10-7, but it doesn't seem like anyone's ready to go out for bat for them or go up to bat for them, right? No one's ready to hit the Houston Texans with the Gawk Gawk 9,000 special. No one is ready to be like, I love the Texans, right? They're a home team, but, and this is a big but, shout out to Lisa Ann, they don't have Stephon Diggs. They don't have Tank Dell. The defense has not lived up to expectations. Their offense, CJ Stroud, kind of having this sophomore slump, right? So there's a lot of negative attention, negative thoughts around the Texans. And everyone and their mother is getting down on their knees to blow the LA Chargers, right? So everyone is going to be picking the Chargers. There are not going to be a lot of people picking the Houston Texans because, again, I think the widespread narrative on this game, Texans, thumbs down, 2 thumbs down. The Texans, no bueno, right? The Chargers, very nice. I like, shut up, boy, right? Everyone likes the Chargers, right? It's so fun. Justin Herbert, this, that, the other thing. So I think everyone is going to be doing tricks on the metaphorical schlong of the Chargers like their name was Shaun White. And everyone is going to be down on the Texans. And I agree with that sentiment, right? While I do believe that the Texans are kind of underrated, the Texans might be able to stop the run game of the Chargers. The Texans' run defense is great. If the Chargers can't get it going with Ladd McConkey, Justin Herbert, they could stumble, they could bumble, and they could lose this game. But I just don't see the Chargers losing. I really don't. I think this will be a close game. If it was 3, I would take the Texans. Since it's 2.5 right now, I would, if I was placing a wager, it would be on the Chargers. I guess it wouldn't be crazy for the Texans to win because this is a close spread, but ultimately, I think it's going to be the Chargers. I trust Harbaugh more than I trust the Texans. It's really that simple. And again, with the Texans offense being beaten and battered, I just have to go with the Chargers. The next game is going to be Saturday night, Amazon Prime, Steelers versus the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore. The Steelers are 10-point dogs in Baltimore. Now, we all know about the AFC North Division rivalry. You throw out the record book, you know, you're always going to expect a angry game, a lot of running, smash mouth football, some old school football. That's what you expect when you got a team like the Steelers and the Ravens facing off. And while the Ravens are 10-point favorites, I could see this one being close, but ultimately, I don't see the Steelers winning. Sure, they have a winning record. Sure, Mike Tomlin extends his streak to 7,000 seasons of having a winning record. Congratulations. Nice. Great, Mike Tomlin. When is the last time you motherfuckers won in the playoffs? When? When is the last time? Was it when they beat the ever-living shit out of my Miami Dolphins? With a backup quarterback? Was that the last playoff win? Right? It was a long time ago. Now I know it was that actually might be it. The Steelers, they're fine, right? They have Mr. Unlimited. They have a great defense. They could play decent. But what about the Steelers recently has showed me that they're going to go into Baltimore and beat them? Nothing. Nothing is going to show me that. I really believe that this is going to be a solid win by the Ravens. Now, again, I'm not sure if they're going to win by 10, win by 15, win by 20, absolutely beat the dog piss out of the Steelers, right? Kind of like how the Ravens beat up the Texans on Christmas, right? Again, everyone remembers that. Another reason why everyone's going to be all over the Chargers, right? But the Ravens, they're a good team, right? Are they going to be able to make it all the way to the Super Bowl? We shall see. But they're definitely going to take down the Steelers. I just don't think there's much of a reason to even go crazy in depth about this game because we all know what's going to happen. And unless the Pittsburgh Steelers, poison the food of the Ravens, they do some crazy Game of Thrones shit, right? I really think the Ravens cakewalk straight past the Steelers. Then the next game would be the Denver Broncos going up against the Buffalo Bills. In Buffalo, the Broncos are 8.5-point dogs. Bark, bark in Buffalo. Now, I am a Buffalo Bills hater. I always will be. I'm a Miami Dolphins fan. I love the Dolphins. Nick, the Dolphins suck ass. Ha, 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 loser. Right? Yeah, I get it. Right? I get that the Dolphins blow. I get that the Dolphins stink. But nothing really quite puts a smile on my face like watching the Buffalo Bills go down. Now, maybe it'll take all the way until the Super Bowl for them to go down this year, but ultimately, just like Junior Soprano, they're going down, baby. They're going down south. So, Broncos versus the Bills. I like Bo Nix. I like that defense. The Broncos kind of shafted the Dolphins by making the playoffs. The Dolphins didn't get to make the playoffs, but it is what it is. The Dolphins stink, and that is not even the point of today's video. I'm going with the Bills. I think that is kind of the no-brainer move. You got a rookie quarterback going into the frozen tundra of Buffalo, type of weather where your nipples are protruding out of your jersey, type of weather where your nips could cut some diamonds. And I just don't see Josh Allen teetering away in this game. I think this could be a B2A game, belt to ass, a straight up domination, 50 Shades of Grey style. So I'm going with the Buffalo Bills there. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Then we move to the NFC, beginning with the Green Bay Packers versus the Philadelphia Eagles. This is the 4 p.m. game. The Eagles are going to be 4.5-point favorites in this spot. And I, for one, was a big Green Bay Packers fanboy at the start of the season, right? I was a Jordan love me tender, love me sweet truther. I was a Jordan love gawk gawk 9000. I was getting down on my knees for him like my name was Mia Malkova. But now they probably won't have Christian Watson. Now we are going to Philadelphia with the Eagles defense red hot, smoking hot. The Packers, could they upset the Eagles? Yeah, I mean, we saw the Packers play phenomenally in the playoffs last year. Jordan Love did not look like a first-year starting quarterback there. They played really well, but I just think the Eagles are going to jam the ball down their throats. I think ultimately the Eagles will win this game. I won't project this to be like a beatdown, a smackdown, brother, a 15-point, 14-point W by the Eagles, but I do think the Eagles get out of there with the win. Then we got Sunday Night Football. The cold like Minnesota Vikings going up against the Los Angeles Rams. Now, after what we saw on Sunday Night Football, where Sam Darnold looked like a blind man, right? Where Sam Darnold was out there like Stevie Wonder in the pocket, missing guys left and right, wide open touchdowns, butt booty naked wide open. I'm talking about no one within a school zone of the receiver, and Sam Darnold sails that shit into the end zone. So many misses, not a lot of hits. It was bad. It was really, really, really bad. And maybe the lights were too bright for Mono Man Sam. Maybe Sam Darnold's going to bumble. He's going to stumble in this game. And the Vikings are going to get sent packing. But, and this is a big but, shout out to Violet Myers, that was a game up against the Lions, who in my opinion is clearly the upper echelon team in the NFC. The Rams are hot. The Rams are scorching. The Rams are looking great, right? But I think while the Vikings, this might not be their year, they might pony up a big load of money for Mono Man Sam, and it might not end up working. But I do believe ultimately that the Vikings will get out of the first round. This is going to be a close game. This is a game that is actually Monday Night Football. I don't know why I said it was Sunday Night Football, so we'll just backtrack that sentiment. The Rams are 1.5-point favorites at home on Monday Night Football. That doesn't really mean too much because I think if this was in a neutral site, the Vikings would be the favorites. So I'm going to go with the Vikings. I don't necessarily hate if you were to pick the Rams. Like, it's hard for me to pick up against Matthew Stafford. It's hard for me to pick against Sean McVay, especially when Puka, Cooper Kupp, Kyron, all these guys are playing up to their potential, and the defense is looking a little bit shifty. They're looking a little bit sparky. They've got a little bit of pizzazz. And I'm not saying they're this great defense that deserves a whole lot of praise, but the defense is playing a little bit better, in my opinion. I'm still going to go with the Vikings because I trust in the defense. I trust that as long as Sam Darnold doesn't completely fuck everything up here, they should be able to get out of LA with a W. Then we got the Commanders versus the Bucks. I'm going to keep it simple, stupid. The KISS method. Commanders have a rookie quarterback. They're going into Tampa with a team that played well in the playoffs last year, with a team that just has a lot of momentum. They got Mike Evans the 1,000 yards. They celebrated with joy. Mike Evans himself said he was going to the casino after to go spend a bunch of money, right? This is a team that is running on momentum. This isn't a team that squeaked into the play. I guess technically they kind of did, but this is a team that has played well in the playoffs last year. This is a team that I think is dangerous in the playoffs. I'm not going to sit here and say that like they're going to, be the NFC champions. Maybe they will be. We shall see. But I do think that the Buccaneers will be able to beat the Commanders. I just don't think the Commanders defense will have enough answers, especially with Jalen McMillan playing so well, with the running back duo of Rashad with 2A's White and everyone's favorite running back, Bucky Irving. Just seems like this is setting up to be a game where, maybe Jaden Daniels struggles a little bit. Maybe, I get it's not like Jaden Daniels is going to cower over, fall over, and, just take it in the behind, right? This could be a close game, and based upon the odds of this matchup, the Bucs are favored by 3. I believe in that line. I believe that the Bucs will win this game, though I'd be happy if Jaden Stormy Daniels ended up getting that win. But again, the Bucs just have the playoff, They played in the playoffs last year. They played well in the playoffs last year. Baker's a dog. I think the fact if this game was in Washington, maybe it goes closer to Washington, but for me, it's going to be the Buccaneers winning that game. If you guys have enjoyed today's video thus far, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button like it owes you some money. Leave a like on today's video. And also, make sure you guys do check out Underdog. They're the sponsor of the channel. They are the sponsor of today's video. If you're brand new to Underdog and sign up using promo code Notorious or by clicking on the link in the video description, if you're signing up today on Monday when the video is being released, your free pick is going to be Stephen Curry higher than half of a total point, plus a first-time deposit bonus of up to $1,000 in bonus cash. Now, if you don't watch basketball, you can match Stephen Curry with a player in the NFL. And if both of your picks hit, then you receive around three times what you put into your pick 'em. If you put in multiple other picks, they all have to hit, but you receive a higher payout. If you are watching this maybe on Sunday or Saturday, then the pick'em will be different, as it will be an NFL player higher than half a total yards. So make sure you guys check that out. Link in the video description. So now we move on into the divisional round. And this is where things get real spicy. Now we have a division matchup. We got the Chargers versus the Chiefs. And for years, I've been someone that's like, this is finally the year where Mahomes gets stopped. This is finally the year, blocked by James, that type of deal here where the Chiefs end up getting slain in the playoffs, big game hunting. And while that could happen, I don't see it happening from the Chargers. I just think the Chiefs are just so much better than the Chargers. I believe that even if this game gets down to the wire, the Chiefs will get a Fugazi call that goes their way. It's just how it goes. Mahomes will be running towards the sideline with his tongue out, looking like a fucking dumbass, run into the sideline, and then he'll fake stutter step, and then he'll get rocked, and then they'll throw a million flags. Oh my God, our king, Patrick Mahomes, has been hit out of bounds. Oh, 8,000-yard penalty. That's just what happens, right? We're all ready for it. I'm ready for it. I'm ready for whatever's going to happen here. I don't even think the refs need to get involved in this game. I think they'll wait until later on. I think the Chiefs beat the Chargers. I think picking against the Chiefs is stupid. I just think it is at this point. The Chiefs kind of didn't look good. Let's be honest, they didn't kind of not look good. They looked like trash. They looked terrible early on in the season. They kept winning these games by the hair on their nuts, right? They kept barely winning these games, barely squeaking by. But then recently, they've started to be like, okay, this is the Chiefs that we thought they would be. Andy Reid coaching well. They got Hollywood Brown back. Sure, they don't have Rashee Rice, but they got D-Hop. They have these other options to throw the ball to. Xavier Worthy's playing well. Pacheco's back. While he doesn't look the best, they have Kareem Hunt. They've got a good O-line. Got a great defense. I mean, to me, it's just like, you just know what's going to happen, right? The writing is on the wall. Then we got the Bills versus the Ravens. And a lot of people are going to be picking the Ravens, right? The Ravens went ahead and played the Bills. I'm just going to go ahead and read the stats off here. It was early on the season. So again, I don't really try to take the stuff that's super early on the season to heart and be like, that's exactly what's going to happen if they play again. The Ravens dominated 50 Shades of Grey style, 35-10. Back in September, that was a game, if you guys do not remember, where the Ravens ran all over the Bills. I'm talking about Derrick Henry, damn near 200 rushing yards. He had 199 rushing yards. He had a touchdown. Lamar rushed in a touchdown at over 50 yards. Justice Hill, the other running back, got into the end zone. I mean, this was a great effort by the Baltimore Ravens, and the Buffalo Bills were kind of just left stranded. They didn't even get off the bus in that game. That was a game that was in Baltimore. This game is in Buffalo. But. That game was in September. This game is in January. This is a much better version of the Bills than we had early on in the season. Both of these teams are kind of just teams that you expect to eventually, choke on a fat one, choke it away, right? We saw it last year. Oh, the Chiefs are on the ropes. Here comes the finish, and then Zay Flowers fumbles the ball away, right? Just when you think you got the Chiefs, you never got them. You never had them. It was just this false hope. And with the Ravens, with the Bills, this is going to be such a good matchup. I'm so excited to see this. I assume this is what we're going to see. Now, assumptions make an ass out of you and me, but I really think the Ravens beat the Steelers. I think the Bills beat the Broncos. And I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. We're going to get that AFC Championship game rematch. The Chiefs versus the no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. I think this is like a true 50-50 matchup though, right? So I'm not going to say with a whole lot of confidence like, oh, the Bills are going to steamroll the Ravens, right? This is easy. It's as easy as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, like I'm the fucking Jackson 5. Woo, ooh, 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 right? I'm not going to say that. I don't think that's the case, but I do think this will be a close game. This will be a fun game, and I ultimately would give the Buffalo Bills the edge. But if the Bills can't stop the run again, and the Ravens are just hitting them from the back, how you like that, then the Ravens could easily win this one. For the NFC, we got the Eagles versus the Bucks. Now, these are two teams that also played earlier on in the season. This was also September 29th when the Bills played the Ravens, and the Buccaneers beat the Eagles 33-16. The Eagles were not looking good early on the season. They started the year off 2-2, and obviously after that, they finished the season with just one more loss after that, being 14-3. So it's very interesting, because this game also happened in the playoffs last year in Tampa Bay, and the Buccaneers beat the Eagles there. Now, I think the Buccaneers are going to be able to potentially lock away Saquon, lock him up, and throw away the key, and make this be a game where Jalen Hurts has to put the team on his back. Yoda on Luke type of deal here, right? I think that is very, very possible. And I think that everyone and their mother is going to pick the Eagles. I think everyone is going to be on the Eagles, just like I think everyone is going to be on the Chargers. And while I did pick the Chargers, that makes me think that while I might get it right once, while I might sneak through, right, of just, picking the most obvious answer, I think that the Buccaneers are going to upset the Eagles in Philadelphia. I get the defense is rock solid, but I think the Buccaneers could get this to become a firefight. And if the Eagles cannot run the football, I know the Buccaneers might struggle to run the football in this game too, but I think that Baker could will this team to win. I think they could win this game. There's another game that I expect to be close. I think the Eagles will probably be like 4.5-point favorites in this game, but I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Bucs because I just don't see it being the 1 versus 2 on both fucking sides of the bracket. I just don't see it being super duper chalk. Crazy things happen. Again, there's going to be a lot of Eagles fans like, Nick, why do you think that? Blah, 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 blah. I think Nick Sirianni is enough of a dope to just fuck this game up. That's why I'm going with the Bucs. Then we got the Lions versus the Vikings. I'm going with the Lions. I am going with the Lions. Now, the Lions just played up against the Vikings. I'm going to get the exact score for you guys because I don't want to say the wrong thing and people be like, Nick, you're an idiot. It was actually I would have said, it was like 40 to 10. It was 31 to 9, right? That was a game that was a absolute disaster. If you watched that game, the Vikings were terrible. The Vikings were just outright atrocious offensively. Sam Darnold played terrible, but they did play back in October, and the Lions won 31-29. So I know this is like a common sentiment, but you don't want to be playing a team 3 times in a row. Or 3 times in a season. It's hard to beat a team 3 times, especially if it's not 1-1. If it's 2-0, you might just say, you know what, maybe the Vikings, they licked their wounds, they learned from what happened, and they play better. But this just reeks of, Sam Darnold gets out of there, they beat the Rams, and you're like, okay, Sam Darnold's back. Sam Darnold's not going to mess this up. And then he just messes it up again. He has a terrible game. Seeing ghosts. So I'm going to go with the Detroit Lions. I feel, again, while this is a game that on paper, again, you don't want to be playing a team 3 times in a season. It's hard to be a team 3 times. I think this will be a Lions W. I know that the Lions are more banged up as it gets. They're so banged up, they got even more hurt. Last night, they let the liquor talk. They got hurt, but I'm going to go with the Lions over the Vikings. I just see the Sam Darnold disaster class game coming. So we got all the favorites in this game, the higher seeds, all the home teams, except for the Bucs. We got the Bucs over the Eagles. Then we got the championship conference round, the AFC and the NFC championship game. And we're to start in the AFC. This is the year of Josh Allen. This is the year where everyone is just uniting hand in hand across the country. We love Josh Allen. Josh Allen deserves the MVP. Who the MVP should have been? Shout out Dukes. I think Josh Allen should be the MVP. I will give him all the praise. They lose Diggs, and it doesn't matter. Josh Allen's playing lights out. But every year we get here, right? We get to the championship game or we get to the Super Bowl, and we say the Chiefs are going to lose. The Chiefs are going to fold like a cheap suit. The Chiefs this, the Chiefs that. The Bills are better than the Chiefs, right? That's what people are going to say. That's what everyone is going to say. But what makes me believe that the Chiefs are going to lose? Every fucking year, I say the Chiefs are going to lose. They're going to choke it. They're going to choke. This is finally the year where the king gets slain. The king slayer, Jaime Lannister. This is the year where it's over. It's Jover. It's finished. And then we all know what happens, right? We all know what's going to happen. We know what is going to happen here. Chiefs are going to win. Say what you want. You can say, Nick, the Bills are better than the Chiefs. I don't care. I don't care. I really think the Chiefs defense will play very good in this game. I think Patrick Mahomes will play safe, conservative football. This is going to not be, I don't think this is going to be a barn burner. I think this is going to be more of a lower scoring game, and I think the Chiefs come out as the champions. And we got the Bucs versus the Lions. And look, 1 seed versus 1 seed, super chalk. Super Bowl, that's what people will say. But there's no way in fuck the Lions make it this far and they lose to the Buccaneers. Now, the People's Super Bowl, everyone wants the Bills versus the Lions. 2 generationally bad teams. Everyone wants that. But the NFL, you might think you have the script, right? Once, say the AFC Championship games first. Once the Chiefs, or say the NFC Championship games first. Once the Lions beat the Buccaneers, you're going to be like, okay, the script is in, the fix is in. It's going to be Lions versus Bills. That's what everyone wants. Fuck no, baby. It's going to be Chiefs versus Lions. And that is going to be a very interesting Super Bowl. I think the Bucs are very, very, very sneaky. If it's the Eagles versus the Lions, I could definitely see the Eagles making it here. But ultimately, we're going to the Super Bowl, and we're just going to be basic. We're picking the fucking Chiefs. Again, every single year, I try to get on here and spew everything negative about the Chiefs. This is finally the year where the Chiefs lose. This is finally the year where it's over. The Chiefs lose. The Chiefs choke. The Lions are very banged up. This is where it all comes to fall apart, right? Where all of those missing pieces, it finally is like, wow, maybe that's why not having this, and this guy, why we're losing. Maybe the fact that Arnold ended up getting hurt. Tyrion, is that his last name? Arnold. He ended up getting hurt. They probably are not going to have Aiden Hutchinson. It's like, this is kind of where it all comes to fruition. Everyone across America is going to be cheering for the Lions, right? Who the fuck is rooting for the Chiefs in this game? No one. No one is going to be rooting for the Chiefs. Everyone is going to be rooting for Dan Campbell. Everyone is going to be so excited to see Dan Campbell win the Super Bowl, have the Lions win the Super Bowl, have Jared Goff hoist the Lombardi. It would be so beautiful, and that's what I'm going to be rooting for, right? Again, these Super Bowl predictions, these player predictions aren't, who is Nick rooting for? Who does Nick want to win the Super Bowl? Because it would be everyone besides the Chiefs. Besides the Bills. I would rather see the Chiefs win than the Bills, but, right? I want the Lions to win this game. But we know what's going to happen. We already know what's coming. So just think. Use your brain. Be like, okay, while I want the Chiefs to lose, while I want the Chiefs to get their shit beat in, while I want them to get curb stomped, right? Like that dude who told Meadow she had a bit of fucking white shit on her face, whatever that was. It was like coffee cream or something. Or whipped cream, right? And then you saw what happened, right? Curb stomped. That's what's going to happen. We are going to, as a country, unite. Let's go Lions! And then the Chiefs are going to win. So let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think. Am I a fraud for picking both 1 seeds? Or is this just what's going to happen? Now, I know the Lions are banged up. Maybe the Lions fall to the Eagles. Maybe they fall to a team like the Vikings. We shall see. Maybe they fall to the Bucs. But ultimately, I got the Chiefs versus the Lions. And the Chiefs are your 2024/2025 Super Bowl champions. Again, just prepare yourself for this to happen. Because we don't want it to happen. So just be like, okay, the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl. And then when they don't, you'll be happy. But if you're just thinking this is the year where it all ends, right? That's how you get disappointed. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Let me know down below in the comment section who you believe is going to win the Super Bowl. I got the Chiefs over the Lions. I love you guys. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button down below. Have a great one. And as always, good boy.